Okay, so starting off, I always like to prime my hair with dry shampoo, whether my hair is clean or dirty. I just feel like it gives a nice grit, a nice texture, specifically if you have fine hair, which reminds me, as always, I will have everything linked below, but I will also link a video where I talk about all of these products that I use, and basically the gear towards these products is giving your hair texture and volume. Specifically, if you have fine hair and you struggle a little extra finding volume and texture. So yeah, I will link that video below because I think it'll really help you out and understand the products better and why I use them. So anyways, let's hop into it. I get asked all the time about how I do my hair and whatnot. And it always like kind of confuses me in a sense, but like also flatters me because I just have a weird relationship with my hair. I feel like it's a love-hate relationship. It's something that can make me feel more confident, but at the same time not. So I don't know if you can tell, like my hair is fine. I luckily have a lot of it. And for whatever reason, I don't know if I'm the only person that experiences this, but I find that my curls last a lot longer when I use a straightener. So yeah, I prime my hair with the dry shampoo. Very important, always protect your hair from heat. If you're using hot tools, very important. So you want to section off your hair. I look real crazy here. Oh, get that clip in. What's really important when you style your hair is to always section it, even when you flat iron it. It's just going to give you better control of the style, and that way you're not going over the same areas with heat all the time, because that could be damaging too. So I take the bottom section first, and what I always do, the pieces of hair that are in front of my face here, I always curl away. I feel like it opens up your face and it frames really nicely. And then randomly throughout, I do my hair in the opposite direction. So I'll turn my flat iron out, which you'll see, so it goes outwards. I'll do a couple outwards. I like majority of my hair to turn outwards, but randomly towards the back and middle, I'll do an inwards curl. That way it creates separation. They're not going to blend together, and you're just gonna see how that gives you some volume. You also wanna make sure that the sections that you're taking are all uniform, and the same size, just so the look is cohesive and it blends better. You'll see once it's styled, but if you don't know how to curl your hair with a flat iron, I'll show you really quick. Usually what I like to do, don't have it cranked to the highest setting first of all, and this is why. What I usually like to do is do a really gentle run through just to get the heat distributed throughout the hair. You're gonna take your section. I personally like to start with smaller sections because you can always brush it out and loosen it. So just for the sake of the style holding and it being as defined, I just like to start small. So this is what my section looked like. I'll gently run it through. You don't need to like clamp it tight and run it through, so just be really gentle. So what I'm gonna do is, just in case you've never used a flat iron, I'll just give a little tutorial tip. Curl it away from your face. You're gonna point it downwards, clamp, and twist your wrist, and just gently slide it down. To the end, I like to just reinforce the curl with my finger, and you let it set. Don't touch it to the very end. You need your curls to cool if you want them to have longevity, so just leave them be. Pretend it never happened. Again, we're going to take our next section, keeping it as uniform as possible to the previous one. Distribute the heat very gently through. Then you're going to clamp downwards, twist your wrist. Sorry, I shouldn't have fit myself in the frame there. And just run it through very gently. Again, yeah, you don't want to be tugging hard, and just reinforce the curl, let it cool. Again, I kind of randomly decide when I want the inwards curl, but for the most part, I'll do 2 to 3 strands in the front outwards. So let's just we'll run this through. Let's do this one inwards. So you're gonna go to the top, and you're gonna tilt it towards you. Twist it towards you, downwards. Twist it towards you, and just run it through. Reinforce it. And so this curl right here is going inwards towards my face, and this one's going out. So you see how they don't mesh? That's what I mean, and you'll see the effect it has later. It's just gonna resist itself and give your hair more body. So I typically like to do my inward curls in the middle and near the ends. But again, it's just kind of random. Basically, the structure that I follow is like 2 to 3 strands up close to my face are always outwards, and then random ones in the middle or the back are going to be facing inwards. So you can kind of choose how you want it as possible and since I don't really have like a set procedure on how to do it, it's basically, think of it as this: majority of the hair is going to go outwards, and you're gonna get the random one inwards in the middle and the back, if that makes sense. Again, distribute the heat. We'll do this one inwards. So clamp, turn it in towards you. So we're gonna do this one towards the face. Run it through. Just wondering, how's your guys' week going now that we're just chilling here? I started going back to school in person. The past couple months have been online, so doing this one outwards. Yeah, it's been such a shock to the system, and overall it feels like good to have routine back, but it's sad that, you know, my class has been split up. Again, this is close to the face, we're going away. So yeah, it's obviously a lot to have to wear like a mask all day and all this kind of stuff, but you know what, we're all kind of making do of the situation. But it's just, it's so bizarre to me. If you guys have ever watched or read the book Handmaid's Tale, that's what I feel like today's world is. It just replicates Gilead. It's crazy, it's creepy, and it makes me so sad too, seeing little kids in masks like going off to kindergarten and their first impression of school. Obviously, I'm all for wearing masks for safety, but it's just sad at the idea, you know, and it's just kind of eerie. We're all this kind of anonymous vessel walking through the streets. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it kind of dehumanizes you in a way. Is that dark? Sorry. But overall, like, things are going good. Again, outward. What else can I tell? I'm really excited because the dance group that I'm a part of, if you guys didn't know, I'm part of a local burlesque dance group here in Edmonton, but we were curious about seeing if we could like do a show. Now that some places have been opening, and you know, we were obviously kind of hesitant, or we didn't even know what that would look like even if we did distance people out and stuff. And basically, I'm going to do this one inwards, decided that instead we are going to do a cool video shoot. If you follow our Instagram, I'll link it below. It's the Pin Rappers. We did one back in February that was a Valentine's Day theme, and we just thought it would be fun, especially with Halloween. We could really make it big and over the top. So yeah, we're doing Suicide Squad, and we have this whole storyline that we have decided on, and it's going to be a mixture of kind of action-packed, comedic, and a little sexy, you know. But you know, if you're not really familiar with burlesque, it's yeah, obviously you think it's you know, very showgirl sexy, but it's also very satirical, you know. Like, if you've never been to one of our shows or just know how we are in general, it's easy to take things like in pictures out of context, and yeah, we have a lot of comedy in our acts too, so I'm kind of excited to incorporate that. I was gonna like kind of hint at what we're doing, but like I don't think I'm really allowed to say. But if you guys follow me on Instagram, I'll definitely give a shout out when the video is released. We're trying to release it right before Halloween, but it's gonna be really cool. We're dressing up as all the characters and getting crazy makeup done and just doing some crazy filming, so that's gonna be super exciting. Also, depending on my mood, will kind of dictate if I backcomb it. Typically, if it's just an average kind of day, I won't backcomb, but if it's like a wedding event or something cool, which again, nothing like that's going on these days, I'll backcomb it just to reinforce the style and to keep it lasting longer, especially if it's gonna be more dramatic. But typically, like, I don't have a defined part of my hair, so sometimes I'll just like kind of fidget with my hair through the day. So sometimes it'll be at the side, sometimes it'll be at the middle. So I like not having it back home for that reason. And then it just feels like real hair, you know what I mean? When you back home and you can't really play with it, and you know, especially if you're a student right now and you're like not really on top of washing your hair, you know, it's nice to let it stretch that extra bit. So yeah, don't worry about it. So those two were inwards, outwards. This is gonna be inwards. That section's a little big, so let's just try to make that, like I said, uniform to the other ones. Distribute the heat, and we're gonna curl it inward. Obviously I'm filming, so guess who's here? Hi, baby. Oh, that's a big girl. Who's 1 year old now? Yeah, it was just her birthday. That's what I'm filming, I'm telling you, when the light comes out in the camera, she just needs to be near. It doesn't seem like she's making a cameo herself today. Like my last video, the, what was it, affordable makeup favorites, where she was just jumping in the background like a little gremlin, but she just likes to be near. If you're wondering too where my other cat is, I showed her in one of my other videos. I typically don't have her around when I film because she's very loud. She's either very destructive, knocking over things, or she'll play with the cords or meow a bunch in the background. So yeah, I love both of my cats equally, but if you're wondering why the other one's like not around as much, just because she causes way too much of a disturbance. Like Letty, my white cat right here, she does, but she's way less destructive and distracting than Jade. But I love them both. Both of them are my babies. Also, how cute is that pumpkin in the background? You know, it was so adorable. So I come home one day and my boyfriend brings home a pumpkin, and I was like, oh my gosh, babe, that's so cool. Like, thanks for getting us a pumpkin. And it was so cute because he said, yeah, I thought that like we can carve it, but the next time you film, I think it would be really cute in the background. So like that was so cute and sweet of him. Shout out to you, Jeff. I also want to point out, again, I talk about it more in my other hair video in depth, but my haircut plays a big role in the way that this style turns out because I have a lot of layers in my hair. And I just feel like when you have layers, it's easier to get volume in your hair. So just keep that in mind. If you watch the video, I talk about it more in depth and kind of explain it. And yeah, I feel like that's just something important to disclaim, you know? Context matters. That I feel. Ah! I just burned myself. Sorry, I was getting so into this conversation. Oh, that hurt. So this is my hair right now. So again, there's so much volume and body because the curls are resisting each other. I still want my hair to cool down before I brush it out, but this is what I like to do. So I'll spray just a little bit more dry shampoo in my roots just because we love full hair here. Then I'm going to take this Got To Be powder. It's a volumizing powder. Get it in that root, girl. Mess around, massage it in. Have a little self-care moment. Give yourself some love. Give yourself a little scalp massage. Massage your brain to try to make rational decisions instead of jumping to conclusions like I always do. Okay. So yeah, you want to distribute that right at the root. It just gives that, ooh! I'm gonna take my hairspray right here. This is the Tresemme Stronghold with Touchable Feel Level 4. You wanna make sure you spray it far away. A lot of people make the mistake of spraying product up here. It's not gonna evenly distribute. Man, I have, oh, it was the Amazon man. Too bad I have nowhere to be today. Actually, I lied. I have one place to be, and that's my doctor's office, so that's cute. I'm sure she'll appreciate the effort that I put in because I usually resemble Shrek when I walk into these appointments, so this will be nice. This is why I like to curl the hair away from my face that's in the front, just because it stays off your face. It creates this windswept line right here, and I just think that's super flattering. You can see there's a lot of texture and separation, and that's because we just didn't curl it in one direction. So I know this video is kind of all over the place. Sorry, it's weird like to try to explain what I do, but the basis of it is in hair in the front goes away and then randomly place your inward curls, and that's just going to give you this look here. I'm like ready to go. Don't forget to check out that video that I linked below talking about all the hair products that I use, because they play a key role here. But today's video was just for the purpose of showing you the technique that I use and what works for me, because I do get a lot of questions about this. But I have to say a special shout out to my girl Angela. It's so cute. She's been requesting me to like show her how to curl my hair since probably like a year or two ago. And so basically she used to be friends with my brother growing up. They were in the same grade, and I remember, I don't know if you remember this girl, at recess she would always come to me and be like, oh, you're Branham's older sister. And her older sister at the time, worked at Cinzio, which if you haven't been there, it's the best freaking cinnamon bun place ever. It's always in the concessions at malls, and I've not tried one cinnamon bun that's better than that at even high-end bakeries. But yeah, shout out to Cinzio. She would always share her cinnamon buns with me at recess, and I don't know if you knew that I like still cherish that to this day, Angela. So shout out to you, and thanks for your support and for everyone else's support, but I just had to give a special shout out to her. Also, if you guys haven't met me before, hi, my name is Nika. Welcome to my channel. And yeah, I hope that you really enjoyed this video, and if you want to stick around, feel free to hit that subscribe button and join the YouTube family. I'd love to have you here. Also hit the bell notification so that you get notified when I upload and you never miss a new video. And also feel free to follow me on Instagram. I'm super active over there. It's at Nyx_, I always forget the underscore, at Nyx_143. And I'll see you next time.